Alrighty, we are live from Columbus, OH. Whoops. Always the ad, always the ad. There we go. Alrighty, where was I? Oh yeah, we're live, Columbus, OH, and this is the Ramsey Show Aftershow show. And we have audio, which is excellent. That means you can hear me. All right. Ramsey Show Aftershow, episode number 447 today. How about that? Pretty cool. I am doing an after show after each replay. There are replays of the Ramsey Show on YouTube until the 2nd, is January 2nd is their next new show. But I will be doing after shows after each of them, except the one on New Year's Day. I will not be doing that one because at that same time is the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Oregon Beavers and at the Rose Bowl in the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals, I think, of the college football playoff. So I won't be doing that. So that might lead to me doing maybe a weekend stream, and that weekend stream would be at the same time, either like 4 p.m. Eastern time or again 5:25 p.m. Probably 5:25 p.m. Eastern time to keep it the same. I am Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and for my other financial content, you're watching this on youtube.com/Coach Steve Money, and you just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist, and you'll see the Ramsey Show After Show playlist, After Show playlist, and the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, and the music playlist has 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Listen to those if you are so inclined. And I'm not a singer by trade, and you can tell. But you might like the lyrics anyway. And if you do, and you can sing better than me, by all means do that. And send me that to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Market report. Where is it? Do I have it here handy? I do. Alrighty, so down today to close out the week. Dow tumbles 500 points, and actually it came back up since then. But so you can see the trading today, blues all the way down here, but then it came back up towards the end. That's the Dow, S&P, basically the same pattern, and the Nasdaq the most down today. Oh nope, Russell small cap the most down today. A little bit more flat for the Nasdaq, not as much of a jump down for the Nasdaq, but still finishing 1.49% down for the day. See what the rest of the planet's like. Everything up in Europe, mostly up in Asia. Currencies, the euro up against the US dollar up against the Japanese yen, the British pound, love, bloody quid, up against the US dollar up against the Canadian dollar, that's a loonie, and their $2 coin is called a toonie. And the US dollar up against the Australian dollar-mite. Futures are looking like for next Monday morning. See what's going on there. And down so far, and they're still in that futures trading. Get a little agua here. So, but hopefully there'll be some good news or something, or they'll just feel like buying, and we'll be up again, nice again on Monday. Let's see what else is going on. Again, no earnings. The most Tesla, the most down. As always, they're going to be the most up or most down, and well over 2% usually either way. And I think that's all I got for you on the market. Let's see what news we have. Business Insider. Weird. I've been coughing all day, and all of a sudden, stream time, start coughing. This is from Yahoo Life, Business Insider. Jeff Bezos' Miami neighbor bought an empty lot for $27.5 million. Now they're asking for $200 million, and it's still vacant. So they buy the empty lot just because it's next to Bezos, and they think they can flip it. So they're trying to flip it. And so they think somebody will pay $200 million just to have a lot next to Bezos, I guess, or in that Richie area. So it's possible. Just thought that was interesting. Land is on Indian Creek, a private island that's home to several billionaires. Well, the sellers remain unknown, but their broker said they are open to negotiating the price. All right, cool. Well, how long? When did they buy it? Let's see if it says when they bought it. $2 million for the land is more than Bezos paid for any of his 3 properties on the island. But when did the people buy that? Owners don't want to be identified. That's a smart. 2018 is when they bought the land originally. Okay. Also in news today, MSN.com. Taking this from the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Texas leads the nation in population growth. Here's what's driving the gains. Well, obviously, you got all your celebrities in the California moving to Austin. Some to Nashville, perhaps. Let's see what is on the data. Washington, D.C. and Florida both top Texas percentage growth. Okay. Texas saw a 1.8% increase in the population, but that they have more people there, so they jump by the most number of people. Texas also saw the largest difference between the number of births and deaths, gaining 158,753 new people. Okay. Well, thought it was going to. Nope. Okay. Thought I was gonna say some more things about what was the difference there. I guess these facts that it's giving is part of the reasons. The South was the fastest growing region overall, gaining more people than all of the other regions combined. Okay, all but 3 states, West Virginia, Vermont, Mississippi, had populations that grew between 2023 and 2024. Texas remained the second most populous state after California. Texafornia, as we say. Robert G wants to know what's happening. I don't know that I'm a stud, but I'll take it. Much appreciated, Robert G. I will take the compliment. Time to go to reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And this is not run by Ramsey Solutions. It's run by fans. If you want a group that's run by Ramsey Solutions, that would be on Facebook, and it would be called the Ramsey Baby Steps Community. Any other name, and then it's not run by Ramsey Solutions. Accountant Annie here. Government employee student loans. Okay. So that would be no and no. Well, let's see. We'll see what's happening in here. Edits, formatting, grammar. Excellent. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's go and open her up. Just got married, 26 man, 25 female. Not wanting to buy a house with a roommate and already engaged. Okay. What? Already engaged? Oh, you went to courthouse. Okay. I mean, it's still not great formatting and grammar, but I'd hate to see what it looked like before. $123,000 before taxes, 75K plus 48K. Both government employees that are statutorily prohibited from obtaining other employment. No kids. All right. And that's weird. The government always wants to put on you stipulations like that. You can't work anywhere else. You have to be satisfied with what we give you. Let's see, 7,600 to 8,400 a month after tax income, depending on overtime. Okay, I was going to say, how is it variable if you're not able to work elsewhere? But I see you have overtime sometimes. Okay, 13K in the bank, which you shouldn't have that much in savings. You shouldn't have that much emergency fund, $1,000 emergency fund, while you are still paying off non-mortgage debt, which student loans are part of that. Holding for a down payment, that's a no. You don't start saving the down payment until step 3B. So that's after all of your non-mortgage debt is gone, which is all of your current debt because you don't have a house yet. And so that does include those student loans and any other debt you may have. And then also you want to have your full emergency fund before you save penny one on the down payment. So you're doing it wrong. Let's see. Unless we continue to rent, in which case it will pay off the car as soon as that decision is made. And that's not how we do it. We just pay off the lowest debt right now. And so that is more debt than just the student loans. So it's not time to think about a house yet. I mean, I know if you're working for the government, obviously they enjoy borrowing money all the time. So I get that, but you are on the Dave Ramsey subreddit, and I don't know if you heard of Mr. Ramsey, but he is the no debt guy. Let's see, where are we? Oh, as soon as that decision, her and I, that'd be she and I, are very risk averse and not that much. You have student loans and a car loan. You're not that risk averse. And our emergency fund will hover at 5K, not 1K until we start investing, at which point it will go to 10K. Okay, so you're being selective on the type of risk you want to have. Your type of risk is to not follow the baby steps and to have more as a starter emergency fund, but you're fine with the debt not being paid off immediately while you save for a down payment when you don't even know you're going to buy a house yet. Let's see. At which point it will go to 10K once they start investing. Why? Why does it go up then? Oh, I guess because baby step 3. I guess in there somewhere. However they want to do it, I guess. However they're going to change it. The order. Let's see, debt 10K car, 18% required for my wife's job. She should not keep her job with a beater. What government job requires you to have a nice car? See, this I think is not something that the government is saying. It's something that you guys think is the law or something like that, or you think that she can't keep her job with a beater. I would again, my job is to challenge all dumb stuff, and I would want to know, what is it? Is it actually you have to have a car that is X amount new? That it only can be a certain number of years old and not too old and not in bad shape. So, and realtors don't like to have bad cars because they wanna have people think that they make a lot of money and stuff because they drive to show houses and people see their cars all the time. So that doesn't matter if you're going to go to work and park somewhere at work and then do your work in the inside of a building. Then it doesn't matter what your car looks like because your clients do not see it. But I wonder what government job this is where they think this is applicable. And it may be. I just have no idea what it would be. Student loan, and if it is, they should be providing the company car then. I mean, that, I get it if it's something like that, and that would make more sense than a lot of things that the government is spending our tax money on. Student loans, 120K. Yep. Rent 1,700 of a German Shepherd, and landlords are very picky about large, dangerous, quote unquote, breeds. Other bills, 500. Right. And again, this is more stuff. These are more stipulations that you're putting, limitations you're putting on yourself. We would be cash flowing the wedding in both options. Great. Option 1. Oh, there's options all of a sudden. Okay. There's the formatting there. They put a little lines there to show you that this is a different section. Option 1, buy/mortgage an acceptable 90K house in the Midwest. No. Baby step 1 first, then baby step 2, then baby step 3. That's how it works. And you don't do another baby step, including saving for down payment before the other ones are done. Then pay off car, nope, wedding ceremony, 20K, then kids, planning it all out. People love to plan it all out way too far ahead. It's no problem to think about it a little bit, but I mean, you're working all of this out and you're still using your dumb stipulations, the limitations you're putting on yourself, and it's just too much. You're just trying to plan and then pay off house. Already worked out the payoff. So when is that? By mortgage. Oh, so that's this year, 24, and then pay off the house in 3 years. All right, an acceptable 90K house. So that's not bad, but that's still not going to be, that's not how you do that. You don't buy the house until you are out of debt. And the student loans, were not listed here. Imagine that. Then invest as much as possible, blah, 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 blah. If personal student loan forgiveness fails for whatever reason, we pay off with our investments. That's not the Ramsey advice. Let's see what the option 2 is. Continue to rent. Pay off car. January of 25, so that's next month. This sounds more like the baby steps to me, except you're not taking your 5,000 out. You're not taking 4,000 of your starter emergency fund because you made it 5,000, so you're not doing that. Let's see, what do we got here? Wedding ceremony then at 20K. So you're also, so that's March of 25, January, February, March. So that's only 2 months later. So here you get to get married first as well. And if you're living together, you should go to the Justice Fees and do that anyway already. And then pay off the student loans. And then save up full emergency fund only at that point. And then save down payment, and then buy/mortgage a house. This plan is 5 years-ish, then we'd have a mortgage. Right. And that's how you do it. You don't buy the house ahead of time, especially before you're even married. If one or both of us entered the private sector, we would add the student loans into the typical snowball. Well, you should do that anyway. I know a few years ago, Dave was entirely against personal student loan forgiveness, but the rate at which loans are forgiven has gone up significantly, not that significantly, for those making qualifying payments. Everyone I know who should have qualified received the forgiveness. Okay, that's everybody you know. That's not everybody in the world. I see personal student loan forgiveness as part of my compensation package as a government employee. Okay, that's fine. You can see it however you want to. That doesn't change the advice. It is difficult for me to justify spending 3 years of my life paying off 120K of student loans when I could buy a house. Instead, you took out the student loans. I would need a 20K bump to my salary in the private sector. Yeah, what about it? Mr. Ramsey says if you take out the loans, you should pay them. I believe Dave would say this: pay off the car, 1K emergency fund. You know already. So yeah, that's the advice. So what are you either do the Ramsey advice or do whatever else you want? Why are you bothering posting on here? Find a cheaper landlord, but keep the dog. Yep. I recall Dave having a soft smart for them. Yeah, absolutely. You can keep the dog. Still find a cheaper place to live for sure. Have you even looked already? Probably not. Pay off the student loans. Yes. Then buy a house with 20% down. Yes, that would be about 7 years from now. But biggest issue is personal student loan forgiveness being better than it used to be, and us both being employed by the government. What would those here do? Okay, so if you're looking for people to tell you what you want to do is the right way to do it, and I'm not going to do that. That's not the Ramsey advice. So I can't help you there giving you what you want, but you already know, the person already knew the Ramsey advice. Just don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. What up, Sid? Simple tree me. Okay. Is this simply? Can't be. Mental health or financial health, maybe. I have a scholarship for tuition, but not enough for housing, which is $3,800 a semester. My parents can be really hurtful and critical, and it's hard to be a happy student when I'm there. They expect me to cook meals for the entire family daily, be a certain type of person, and every single day complain, and it's taken a large toll on mental health. I think it would be different if I wasn't a student, but I'm in full-time in college online. When they found out about how I feel, they justify everything and ask for examples just to justify it. It's their house. They can do what they want to. When I told them about how I've been feeling, like, let's just say I wish I was never born, they didn't seemingly care, and my mom just said to my brother, call 911. Yeah, well, maybe they thought you were being dramatic. It's possible. So I don't know about your parents. So, I mean, that's up to you, but it's not the idea to get a loan for anything isn't gonna be the advice. So, mental health or financial health, the answer is going to be both. Let's find out what the actual question here is here. If someone says that, it means we should call the police, but not in a concerning way, in a mocking way. Okay, well, you're gonna see it however you want to see it. I didn't hear her say it, so I don't know. I'm not familiar with your mom. Maybe she's not a nice person, and that's possible. And so you probably shouldn't live there. My dad just said I should do it then. Okay, I wouldn't live there then. Last time I said that I was 14, and he had the same answer. And you didn't do it then, apparently. So, good. It's making me very depressed, and I've been thinking hard about this. What would a stoic do? What would you guys do? Female 18. I wouldn't live there anymore. And so that means you may have to stop school and start working. Sorry about that. In order for you to move out, that will require more money than living with them. And so it doesn't sound like they are fun to live with by any stretch of the imagination. even if you are exaggerating it. But, you know, I mean, you got to accept reality on this. Either you live there and continue school, or you probably got to at least go down to part-time online, and you got to work full-time. And so you can live by yourself, or you can also move in, you know, get roommates, something like that. Key the Zebra event. Everyone is wondering, and if you are actually having mental health problems, you can seek counseling for that as well. Key the Zebra. This is a venting here. Everyone is wondering why I'm choosing to pay off debt over happiness. I feel like I read this one before. Sometimes they seem to switch places. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just read the headline when I was scrolling down to find my place. Why I'm choosing to pay off debt over happiness, okay? And this is going to happen if you decide to do this. If you look at the baby steps, you know, you hear about this guy in Tennessee that has this program, especially if you program, like he says, and if you Google get out of debt, his name is probably going to come up. And so you look at these steps and you say, oh, this actually looks like it might work. Oh, he's been doing it 30 years. Oh, there's millions of documented success stories from following his advice. Oh, I think I'll do that. Guess what? It doesn't make a difference what your friends or family or anybody else thinks about it. You're free to do what you want to do with your own money. Let's see. I don't like my new career, truck driver. Well, you know, I would do it I mean, because that's decent money, I think. I would do it for a while you look for another job that's hopefully close at least to that amount. It's hard, it's lonely, sure. That's why it pays more. It doesn't even pay that good yet. Well, that's, you know, when you start out a new career, they're not going to start you at the top salary usually. It has taken a lot of the things I enjoy away from me, relationships, free time, etc. Right? Sure. Because you're not at home. You're on the road driving. And that, you knew that was going to be the case when you got your training. When you said, oh, I'm going to be a truck driver, you knew you weren't going to be home. So that's on you. However, it pays more than my previous job, absolutely. And that's a good reason to take it. To do it, but you should have thought it out ahead of time. More than my previous job, and it has low living expenses, so I justify it. That's great. Do that. You don't have to do it forever either. If you do it to get your debt paid off and your full emergency fund, and maybe a down payment to a house even, if you want to do it even longer, if it's worth it to you, do that and then get another job. There's no other job I've found that can allow me to save as much money as this job. Yep. However, I complain about it a lot, and people always say, right, so we just want you to be happy. Right, so either keep it and shut up about it. If you choose to keep it, don't complain about it. So, I mean, because you are the one that is in charge of that. And so there's no need to complain about something that you can change, but you just don't want to because the money's beneficial. So nobody wants to hear about that crap. I wouldn't want to hear about that. You know, especially if it's over and over again. But anyway, we just want you to be happy. So yeah, I'm sure they do. They don't want to hear that crap anymore. So you've already complained to them. There's no need to complain to that particular person or group of people anymore about it. You are choosing to stay there and do it. So you suck it up and you do the job. Or if you really don't like it, you find another job and life will be harder. You'll be in baby step 2 longer. Let's see. Well, to these people, I say all I want is to get out of debt and to start building wealth. So one day I can retire a millionaire. Right. And so you have to want that more than you want to complain about the job then. If that's really what you want, then again, stop complaining. I don't want to take 10 years to pay off my debt. That is wise. I want it done in 1 to 2 years. That is wise. And that would be a reason why you would take a job you don't like. Everyone thinks it's a pipe dream, and I'm here to say it's not. It's been proven to work millions of times, like I just said on the last question. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Oh, that it's not. Oh, just venting. Okay, all right. So, you know, if typing it on the Reddit, if that will save you, you know, paying a counselor for, you know, for your mental health to get you, if you have to just rant on the Reddit and then you're ready for another week of truck driving, then that's fine. All right. You won me over if that's the case. So yeah, just venting. All right, fine. You can type whatever you want on the Reddits. So yeah, but my personal advice, I would advise you to stick with it as long as you can, since that would be the quickest way out of it. And then once you're in a better place financially, by being on step 4 or higher, or even by being on step 3 but out of debt, that still puts you in a better position in order to change jobs for a lower paying job. Hello, everybody watching. Once again, no after show on what day? New Year's Day. After the Ramsey show replay, there will be after each Ramsey show replay, which is only going to be what, the 31st. Yeah, 31st and 1st on Wednesday the 2nd. Wednesday is New Year's Day. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday there will be Ramsey show replays, and on the Monday and Tuesday I will be doing an after show after that. But I will not be doing an after show after that because I'll be watching football on New Year's Day at 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time. Far Anteater 7888 still feeling gazelle intense after paying off debt. Well, that's great because nobody told you to stop being gazelle intense before you have your full emergency fund done. You need to stay gazelle intense while you get that full emergency fund happening. And then after that, on baby step 4, that's when you can take your foot off the gas and put your foot on the brake. Mixed up my metaphors there. Hello all. Hi guys. 22 man and just paid off my car loan of over $29,000 within less than a year. Fabulous. And that's how it should work. So if you can pay it off in a year and you want to keep a $30,000 car, more power to you. Knock yourself out. If it's, you know, $60,000 and it's going to take you 2 years or more, then maybe you want to think about selling it. But, you know, I mean, this is on the upper end. I probably would have, if I decided to do the baby steps, I would probably sell this car and move down in car. But you wanted to pay it off, you did it, and you did it in less than a year, so that's great. Although I've just finished baby step 3 and can now be intentional, okay? So he's done that as well, as I addressed. You should still stay gazelle intense until you get the full emergency fund done. It's been very difficult to ease off the brakes. Ease off the gas. See, he messed it up just like I did, or she. To ease off the gas is what you meant to say, or put on the brakes. 2 different sayings. And not be gazelle intense. Since I have spent this year working a lot while in college, I've still chosen, take English in college, I've chosen to work more than stay at home. That's your, and I would do that too. I would recommend to anybody work more while you're younger, and then you don't have to work as much when you're older. Absolutely, I would recommend that to everybody. Of course, I was dumb and didn't do that either. So I get it. And so that's why I tell people, just in case they would listen to somebody. I'm trying to think if anybody told me to work more ever. Nope, not until I heard Mr. Ramsey. Um, how have y'all managed to become more intentional without itching to work more? Thanks in advance. Well, it seems like you would be at least a certain level intentional and acceptable since you were able to pay off the debt in less than a year and have the full emergency fund. You've been at least somewhat intentional. So that would be do more of that if you want to. So, I mean, the reverse of that would be working more to spend more. So you can afford debt payments and stuff like that. So that would be the reverse of that. But what you want to do is definitely you need a budget for the rest of your life. It doesn't go away after baby step 2 or even baby step 3 or even after baby step 7. You should budget the rest of your life. And so that's being intentional with that money. So you can baby step 4 now for you can plan vacations, you can budget more fun money. You are in charge of the budget. Once you get to baby step 4, you've earned the right to do your own budget. Now you shouldn't go crazy and just spend all of your extra money because you are supposed to do baby steps 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time. 22 man maybe doesn't have a house yet. If you want to buy a house, that's where you would start doing a down payment. Baby step 3B. So that's up to you, and you get to choose the ratio of how much you save for down payment and how much you invest for up to 2 years. You can do that up to 2 years. After 2 years, Mr. Ramsey wants you to be investing 15% of your gross income, but you can not invest a cent and just save it all up for down payment for up to 2 years. So you just have to make that decision. So that's what I would be talking about with this 22-year-old man, that if you want to get a house, it just depends on how fast. If you're not in any hurry to buy a house, you're fine with renting. Then you can do more stuff. Yeah, like the vacations, like I said, like fun trips. Vegas or somewhere like that comes to mind, and then you can budget all that. You cash flow it in the month you decide to do it is fine. Or you can save up a little bit for it each month. And then once you have enough to do that activity, then you do that activity. But so if single, then and no children, then baby step 5 isn't applicable. If you don't have a mortgage, then step 6 is not applicable. So all you should be doing is the 15% of gross income. Or, as I said, if you want to save up for that down payment, you would be doing that, and that's intent. That's intentional. That's not as gazelle intense. You don't have to be. So, but of course, I mean, that's how math works. The more gazelle intense you stay, the faster steps 4, 5, and 6 would be done. 4 lasts forever, unless you need the money in retirement to live on in retirement. Otherwise, if you have your retirement all paid for, all your expenses paid for in retirement, and you have some more income coming in, then, why not invest if you don't need it to live on in retirement? So still feeling good. Yeah, it can be hard to switch that off. People have that all the time. People have that when they get to baby step 7. They don't want to spend any money just because they're so used to not spending any money. And it is what you're saying. You do need to go a little bit less intense at least, and but still maintain the intention that you did in baby steps 1, 2, and 3. So you can just add things on there, like things that you wouldn't add in baby steps 1, 2, and 3, like eating out more, like the vacations, like I said, or fun money, or anything else you want to put in the budget. You can do that. It's from Sun Turtle. The Dr. John Deloney Show has reached 1 million subscribers on YouTube. How about that? Congratulations, Dr. D. John Deloney has reached the big 1 million subscriber mark on YouTube. No other Ramsey personality, not counting Dave himself, of course, right, has reached 500K subscribers, right? The Ramsey Show is not at that subscriber mark. So that's awesome for Dr. Deloney. What do you think this means for the future of the show and Dr. John? Will he remain with Ramsey Solutions for the long haul, or is he now big enough to branch out on his own and find success beyond the Ramsey sphere? Of course he could. It's sphere, not sphere, like I said. There's no C in it. My bad. Of course he could. I'm sure he could. And probably make some decent money. You know, maybe even make more, since it would be all his deal at that point. But you do get benefits by staying with the Ramsey Show, for sure. You know, would he have gotten to 1 million subscribers if he just started his own show without Ramsey being involved? Probably not. But we don't know. So I don't know. He could branch out on his own, at least eventually. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's gonna happen anytime soon, because they're doing a tour in 2025. He and Dave are. So I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, but eventually he might do that. Flaky Calligrapher 62. How do you balance holiday spending with the baby steps? You don't do it. Christmas becomes a craft, something very, very extremely cheap that you make for somebody instead of spending money. For anyone working the baby steps, what step are you at, and how does it affect your holiday spending? Steps up 4 and 5. Renting currently, and I can set the Christmas budget for whatever I want to. So you can do that when you don't have debt and when you have a full emergency fund and you've already started investing for retirement. Then that's when you can do that. If you're on steps 1, 2, and 3, you need to chill at Christmas time. So a lot of people do justify the spending because, oh, I have to get somebody a present. No, you don't. You don't. You can prioritize your financial well-being over buying somebody a present. And also, it doesn't have to be, like I said, you can write them a song or anything that just takes your time and is not going to take some of your money that needs to be put towards debt or the full emergency fund. At step 12, I think I've seen that name before. How do people pay back their mortgages early? Okay, well, you're not paying it back. Well, I guess you are. You're paying it anyway. Paying it off. Hey, fans. In the past few months, I've discovered the international treasure that is Dave Ramsey. Okay. And started my baby steps. I live in the bloody UK. And what seems very odd to me is how quickly people pay back their mortgages. Okay, that may the payback thing may be a UK thing as well then. So apologies for that. I know that in the UK, most mortgages have early repayment fees. Yeah, that's bad. I was wondering if the debt-free people shown on the show are people with no early repayment fees on their mortgages. I don't think that's very common in the United States. I know when I got one, there wasn't one on there. There could be on some. I won't say, I don't know enough about it to say that there aren't any ever on there, but I think it's not that common in the United States. More lenient towards those. Right. Additionally, you can't get fixed rate mortgages for more than 10 years. Here, most common are 5 years tops. Right. So the idea would be you do fixed rate for 10 years and then you. Oh yeah, okay. So I see what they're saying. Um, is the market completely different in the U.S.? Thanks. Yeah, enjoy the holiday break. Yeah, you too. Add Steph 2. No, 12. Sorry. Yeah. So it would be. So I don't know if you can get a fixed rate for the 10 and keep that one, and then have a 5-year variable rate one on top of that to equal the 15 years. So the idea is you do want to limit yourself to 15 years as far as paying it off, and also keeping it down to a lower amount of years keeps you from buying too much house as well. So again, yeah, I don't know what the actual Ramsey advice specifically would be for this situation when they don't offer more than 10 years, unless you can limit yourself to a 10-year mortgage. That I'm certain would be acceptable. And the most common are 5-year tops. So yeah, so if you can afford it, the house on, if you can afford the monthly payment and it's 25% of your net income, take home pay, then you would just get the 10. Otherwise, maybe get a fix for 10 and then supplement it with a 5-year additional. But the total shouldn't be more again than 25% of your take home pay. Credit issues 1, 2, 3. Well, if you have loans, that would be a credit issue. Do I need to sell my house? Oh, good. Let's see. Now, when they're offering to do that, or think they might need to do that, that's good because they probably do. Let's see. Let's look at the numbers here. Data. Non-house debt, $200,000. House debt, $1.1 million. House value, $2 million. Let's see. I currently make more than I spend, okay, and I'm reducing debt by about $7,500 a month. But selling my home would just get me immediately back to good. Yeah, I see that. And that would be very tempting. And then buy a cheaper house. My wife and family love the home. I bet they do. It's $1.1 million. And worth $2 million. And likely would be very sad by leaving it behind. Okay, family doesn't get a vote. Wife gets a vote. So you guys have to decide that. So that is an easy way to do that, and that is moving down in house, especially if that's more than 25% of your take-home pay. You shouldn't have bought that in the first place, and the way to fix it is to sell it and then pay off your debt, and also then buy a house with the remaining money. Or you can even get another mortgage on it. But keep it within the Ramsey guidelines. I also have a large influx of funds coming in 2028 due to the way I'm compensated. Okay, you're not buying a different house right now based on that. That's a nay. That exceed my total current debt after taxes. I'm not, no, you don't push that off either because, is this 100% guaranteed the large influx of funds would be the first question I would ask, but I would be hesitant to do that you can fix it now by not having quite as nice a house. You do that. So the question, I guess, is keep working at it slowly and take the big swing in 4 years? Nay. Which soon it'll be 3 years, 3 point something years anyway. Or press the sell house reset button and get quickly too healthy at the cost of some temporary sadness. Yes, you'll live, your wife will live, and the kids will live, but you and your wife are the ones that have to make this decision. My advice would be, of course, to do that and buy a cheaper house. Fun times. Another, how are we doing financially? People always like to ask that. Usually without giving enough information. Let's see. Looking for advice. Some obvious hedgehog, 1609. My husband 28, and I 23, female supposedly, or probably rather, have been married for just about a year. We went into our marriage both feeling fairly financially savvy, but just found Ramsey, and we realized we're not, probably. Let's see, are starting to reevaluate. Okay. I'm honestly a bit overwhelmed with managing our finances now that we have adult money and responsibilities. All of a sudden, that phrase would be all of a sudden, not all the sudden. I don't know where that came from, why people started saying that. I think I noticed that probably about two or 3 years ago. It's all of a sudden. There's no all the sudden. So I'm looking for advice on what we should be doing in our situation. Here's the financial snapshot. 92K income and he makes 115. Okay, there needs to be a lot less he and I, and a lot more we. So it would be we make $207,000. $207,000 per year, okay? After taxes and deductions, we take home around 11 per month. Excellent. Got the we in there. Expenses, 9K per month. Leaving 2,000 extra a month. That's a lot of expenses, dog. Mortgage, car payment. So that's a no. If the car is a lot of money, if it's worth, if it's like a $50,000 car, you're selling it, despite you making that much money. Utilities, food, giving, clothes, entertainment, pets. Okay, you don't have to spend as much money on your pets as you probably are. You don't have to spend as much money on entertainment as you probably are. Into entertainment, you can be entertained for free. Clothes, you probably don't need to buy as many clothes as you're buying. And giving, of course, that's between you and your spouse, for sure, on that. But yeah, and the food, you might be buying too much food, so I would want to take a look at this person's budget. Consumer debt, just $12,400 on the vehicle, and that's not crazy with that income. But the problem is you got only $2,000 a month. I mean, so you could pay that off in what, 7 months? So, but I wonder if that's happening too. If the 2,000 extra is going to where? And if you have a bunch of savings, I'm gonna be mad. Let's see. I've already paid off my student loans and we don't use credit cards. That part is fabulous. And so if that's the only debt, then fine. Keep the vehicle. And I mean, since it's only 12,000, sure, if you like it, you want to keep it, and you'll pay it off in 7 months. But that, again, that's not that much extra. You're not out earning what you're spending by a whole lot. Mortgage is $593,000. 30 years left. How can it be 30 years left unless you just married? Oh, married for just about a year. Okay, so they probably did just buy it. Home was valued at 625K. Yeah, so again, probably had to finance it for 30 years in order to afford the payment. So yeah, because they got $2,000 left after current expenses. So you add more mortgage payment to that, then they don't have anything left. So yeah. So here's where we move down in house and you get a cheaper house. Retirement, contribute 8%. You shouldn't be doing that while you have debt on that car. You're doing it wrong. Company match is 75% up to 8% plus 3% for free. Okay, you don't do retirement contributions until you are completely debt free and you have full emergency fund. I'm not seeing anything about savings. Oh, there it's coming. And yes, I'm gonna be mad. I already saw it. Gonna be mad. BRM. Yeah, BRM, blood red mad. The current balance of $22,000. Okay, great. Husband contributes. Again, shouldn't be doing any of that while you have debt. Savings, we have about $20,000 in a high yield savings account. That is our emergency fund for now. Dave Ramsey subreddit. Baby step 1 right here. Save $1,000 as fast as possible. I don't see where it says save an additional $19,000. I don't see where it says that. Let's check the. I might have missed it. Yeah, I'm just being an ass now. I might have missed it here in the actual Ramsey version of the baby steps. Let's see. No, it just says save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund and doesn't say save an additional $19,000 extra while you still have a dumb car payment. That is dumb as crap. Do not do that stuff. Alrighty, blood red man. You're doing it wrong. Also, shouldn't be in a high yield savings account if you do not have 100 immediate access to that. Either debit card or check writing privileges on that, because emergencies don't wait for that 1 to 3 day transfer, dog. So that's a no on high yield savings for emergency funds unless you have immediate access to that money. We have 3 other vehicles and a travel trailer, which are all paid off and probably worth about $45,000 combined. So we don't. How often are you using the travel trailer? If you're not using it, sell it. I mean, I'm assuming the one car is for one of you guys, and what are the other 3 cars for? Kids. So you don't need that many vehicles if you do not have any children. Let's see. No, it doesn't say. Fairly young too, so don't know, but you don't need that many vehicles either. So, I mean, very, very normal though, especially for people that start making that much money. They start doing all kinds of dumb crap. Start doing the dumb crap even before making all that money, and then it just intensifies the more money they make. Let's see. We're going to tackle my car loan and fully fund the emergency fund this year. Well, I mean, you've already got too much in emergency fund. That immediately should go to pay off the 12.4, and then you would have 7.6K to start your emergency fund with. And you can sell the vehicles you're not using that much. If you need a specific type of vehicle once a year, you can rent it. You do not need to have one for that amount. If you are not using the travel trailer, you do not need it. That travel trailer is a toy. But I mean, since it's paid off, fine. You want to keep it, that's fine. But that could help you get out of debt and fill your emergency fund faster. like immediately instead of we're trying to do it this year. And when you say this year, you mean in a year's time, or you mean by the 31st of, which is in a few short days. Actually, it was 4 days ago plus 30, 31, 5, 4, 5, 9 days total. So probably they're talking about a year from now is what I'm guessing. What other moves would you make beyond that? I'm so glad you asked. I would do the baby steps and I would reverse engineer the dumb crap that you've done and make it look like the baby steps, which is maybe get out of that house. I don't know. If you get rid of some of your toys, maybe, and pay out that debt and get that emergency fund done, then it just depends on the income. And also, even if you get all that done, say we get all that done somehow, and you manage to keep the house because you want to keep it, and you can afford the payment even if it was on a 15-year fixed, then you can keep it fine. Pay it like it's a 15, so you're paying extra on it after you get that emergency fund, but you're doing 4, 5, and 6 at the same time anyway. So probably 5 it doesn't seem like 5 is applicable, and so you would be just investing and paying the mortgage off early. And so maybe by cutting out some expenses, and maybe getting rid of 1 or 2 vehicles, maybe getting rid of the travel trailer, you can be completely done immediately on step 4. Congratulations. And then we're not sure whether it makes sense to throw money at our mortgage, put extra in retirement, or what else we should be doing. You should be doing the baby steps. You don't do any of that. You don't do extra in retirement until the house is paid off. You don't put extra money towards the house until you have baby steps 1, 2, and 3 done, which you don't. You still have the car payment. So you're doing it all wrong. Let's give them, from the Ghostbusters 2.
If everything you're doing is bad, I want you to know this.
Yeah. So, and George, you get a bonus, George.
You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong.
Yeah. So you're just doing it wrong. It could be immediately fixed. You could immediately be, and so you could be immediately done with this by the end of the year, just like you said you wanted to do in this year. Instead of being a year from now, it could be by this year's end. You could fix all of this stuff, and I would still be thinking about moving down in house, because I feel like with all the other stuff that's going on, that these people definitely did the 30 years so that they could afford the mortgage payment. So, but if you can afford that on a 15, and you can pay it like a 15 because you have that much left over after you're out of your dumb car loan debt, and after you've cut some expenses down, and guess what? So what the Ramsey advice makes happen a lot of times. Sorry, got too excited about it. Couldn't talk for a second. What's so fun about the Ramsey advice is that it makes you put you in a better financial position so that you can do this. But generally, that's going to take some sacrifice. You don't get to do everything that you want to. You don't get to buy as many clothes as you want to. You don't get to spend as much on entertainment or the pets. Buying stuff for your pets. They need food, but do they need $100 food per month or something like that? Whatever that costs, I don't know. I don't have any, so I don't know. But let's say you get the you can get the Chewy version of it, or you can get the Walmart version of it. You know what I'm saying, dog? So stuff like that. And you want to keep all your vehicles and your travel trailer and all that. You got to cut stuff. You got to cut stuff probably to keep the house. Otherwise, the advice would be to sell the house in addition. But even if we take even let's pretend you can afford the house, then you can still be out of debt today by selling some of your toys, cutting budget, and you would be paying off that car. And then you can finish up the emergency fund. Depending on how much of the toys you did, you would might be able to even have the full emergency fund by the end of the year too, if you can sell it that fast. Got too excited there. But not today, dementia. I recovered. What up, Lady V? How's it going? Lady V, still securing bags, looks like. Maddie Bag says wife wants me to go buy a Mega Millions lottery ticket, but also says life isn't just about money. LOL. Yep, that's how it does. That's how it works. Normal people are not consistent either. So that's to be expected. Crafty, what time is it? Crafty program. Oh my goodness, I've gone over an hour now. I just get so excited and love doing this so much. I wish it was unlimited. I would do like 3 hour. I've done 3 hour streams before, but I would like do 3 and 4 hour shows every day. Maybe not every day, but I would do much longer if there were more questions available. Crafty program 7697. Dave's 4 fun strategy for investing. I'm in my 60s with a nice retirement income. So I started Dave's investment plan with 4 types of mutual funds. I just have 2 questions. Okay, I might, and this is what a good coach would do, is not just answer your 2 questions, but it would tell you what the Ramsey advice is on stuff you're doing wrong as well. So let's just see. 1, is it possible to contribute to a Roth without income? No, it has to be some type of income. Otherwise, you cannot contribute to a Roth. Does Dave rebalance every year? No, he does not. My pal Sid called Mr. Ramsey one time and asked him about that, and he said, what did he say? Maybe 2 or 3 times in your lifetime, or 3 or 4, 2 or 3 or 3 or 4. Sid, right? Which one was that? During your lifetime you have to do. So you don't have to rebalance it every year. Because, like, for example, your large cap should be kicking the others' butts. And so you don't have to constantly stop, take less out of the, large cap and put it into any of the mid cap or small cap or international. So no, you don't do that. Or does anyone know a good rebalancing method? Or is it better to just rebalance my contributions accordingly? Well, I would only rebalance if I don't know. What were you wondering about? I don't know if Sid is still watching. What were you wondering about balancing? Is it because it should be equal amounts going into each. What you would do more than that, though, is get rid of funds that aren't making money. You would do that more often. But to rebalance it, so yeah, so you're not gonna get your holdings to be, because they make different amounts, you're not going to get them to all, after you do 25% each, into each of those four: small, mid, large cap, and international managed mutual funds. They make different amounts of money, so they are not going to equal after you put that contribution in. That is all equal. Once it starts making returns on that, it's not going to be equal to each other anymore. So, but again, yeah, Dave said rebalance 2 or 3 or 4 times in your entire lifetime. So, and nothing from Sid yet. So maybe she's not watching anymore. But yeah, she called Dave to ask him about that. And he said, somebody said something about, I think, nerd. Co said, I think it was, might have been Ken even. Can't remember. And he said, yeah, she is a wonderful nerd. He called her a wonderful nerd. And she is. Let's see. So that's the dealio on that. You only have to rebalance, but yeah. So, but I don't know exactly what way you're talking about. Trying to balance, getting the amount that you have in each one to be the same amount, or the amount that is or what it's making, or something like that. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but that addressed both of those. Weekly document 8160. Oh, I forgot I was going to be done. I'll do this one more. Where do you like to sell cars? I have a car and listed on Facebook Marketplace, but there are other options you guys like as well. Craigslist, cars.com, you could list it on as well. Facebook Marketplace, the idea is that you have it like targeted to people in your area, and so you would do a face-to-face swap of vehicle and the money. And of course, you don't want to be doing any shipping of it or anything like that, or driving a long way to do that. But yeah, I would keep it basic. I mean, you can do a newspaper ad as well, but probably the online options would serve you better. All right. Once again, no after show on New Year's Day after the Ramsey show replay that day, but there will be one on Monday and Tuesday, right after the Ramsey show replays. And on January 2nd, there will be a brand new Ramsey show and also brand new after show. You're watching this on youtube.com/coachstevemoney, and for my other financial content, you just scroll down past the Oak Island playlist and you have the Ramsey show after show playlist. And as I said, this is episode number 447, so I've been doing this a hot minute, as the kids say. Answering your financial questions stream, and that one has 137 in there, and there are 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in the music playlist. Listen to those if you're so inclined. Actually, listen to them even if you're not inclined. It's fine. Just turn it on when you're going to leave the room or something like that. That would be acceptable to me. Alrighty. What's more, I am Coach Steve Money, and I'm not just some guy here saying you're doing it wrong. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and you can schedule a free financial coach consultation assessment with me if you've got money problems, or you just want to make sure you are on the right track. You can do that at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. Link is in the ticker below, also in the video description. You can email me about questions about financial coaching or anything else that's on your mind, any of the baby steps, anything else that's on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to paypal.me/coachstevemoney. Alternatively, the Cash App at $CoachSteveMoney. A Walmart gift card to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. Upcoming streams, as I said, the Ramsey Show After Show, approximately 5:25. Actually, after the replays, more like 5:28 p.m. Eastern time, but somewhere along in there. Because they have a countdown added to it, so it takes longer. It is over like two or so minutes later than normal when it's a replay. And those replays will be happening through January 1st, but they will be back January 2nd with brand new shows. And of course, I will have one on January 2nd as well. So every weekday, I'll be here except for New Year's Day. And I might do one later that night, or maybe the next Saturday, I might do a weekend stream. I might do a answering your financial questions stream on Saturday. It's possible. I'll try to let you know in advance. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day. Happy New Year!